Well, we'd like to start our meeting today, council meeting, the March 8th meeting commencing at 5:30. Thankful for the early time so we can hit the caucuses and things tonight. So we're going to kind of go through this agenda, and then hopefully there's no issues. Council Phil Nelson is going to join us via Zoom. Hopefully you're somewhere fun. So we welcome him there, and excuse the mayor. He's out of the country, so I'm acting mayor today, or pro tem. I don't know, whatever you want to acting. I act like it, so very uncomfortable for me. Normally my chair is right over there, and I have a comfortable spot. So I keep Dave on his toes. We'd like to open the meeting with a pledge of allegiance and a opening prayer, reading, or expression of thought by Councilmember Yuri.
Please rise and we can pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our Father in heaven, we're grateful to meet here together as members of this great community of Pleasant View at this city council meeting. We ask that Thy Spirit will be here with us tonight as we take upon us the business of the residents here in Pleasant View and do what is in the best interest of all that are here and not here as well. We're grateful for the moisture that we are receiving. We're grateful for the smell that is falling right now. Please help those who are out in the snow that they will be safe and drive carefully, and that our public works department will be watched over and protected as they take care of our streets and the infrastructure that we have in the city. We're grateful for this country that we live in. We're grateful for the freedoms that we enjoy. We're grateful for our national leaders as well as our state and local leaders. We ask in blessing that we will do what is in the best interest of those that we will do. We ask that you bless our troops who are serving around the world, that they will be watched, protected, and help the situations that are happening in Ukraine and other countries. Bless those people who are fleeing the devastation and violence, that they will be able to find refuge. Bless our country's leaders and allies, that they will make wise decisions and help resolve the conflict over in Ukraine and Russia. We ask these things bless those who are attending caucuses, that they will be wise and deliberate and represent our communities and precincts and do what is in the best interest of all. We're grateful for all that God has blessed us with, and we ask this in the best interest of all.
Thank you, Sarah. Has everybody had a chance to look at the agenda, and is there any conflicts of interest? Seeing none, we'll move on to comments or questions for the mayor and city council for items that are not on the agenda. And that'll be a 3-minute limit. Anyone like to say anything? Anything online? Nothing? Okay. Has everybody had a chance to look at the bills? Entertain a motion?
Mayor.
Steve, what do you say to that? What do you say to that?
Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Gibson.
Councilmember Gibson, I like that.
I'll make a motion that we accept the bills of Pleasant City.
I have a second by Sarah. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay, the business. Item number 1, discussion of possible action to grant an exemption to the home occupation conditions for a business to be conducted outside the primary premises located at 2800 North, 1000 West for an equine facility for boarding, lessons, and camps. And the requesters are John and Jolene Martinez and Laurie.
that on? Not
Yeah.
very, I don't know if it's, okay.
They're in an A2 zone. They have combined their properties. They're now conforming. They have 6 acres plus down there. There's two methods to grant this request. One of them is conditional use, which is basically permitted, because we don't have any conditions to list for it, but lighting academy is allowed or permitted use. Or there's the method of a home occupation, which is a permitted use, but you guys have to just grant those few exceptions for having it outside of the home, and vehicular traffic. I think they're here and they'll tell you what the plans are for the traffic. Subsidies, but it's basically if you don't go this route, they'll go the route of the planning commission to get this granted.
So the conditional use would be through the planning commission.
Otherwise, more simpler and less expensive. They wouldn't have to pay the fee to go to the planning commission to the application. But home occupation is a permitted use, and so that's the route we're taking first.
So we can still address the circle items.
A home occupation with the exception of these items, right? That's how we would approach it.
But if they were to go back to the planning commission and it would be a conditional use under the zone that's in place. Okay. Okay. I mean, you can find it out and they do like that. Okay.
With one of the conditions that would be an exception, can you make conditions with that, like parking or something like that? Or is that just, there's an exception?
I think they're going to be addressing their parking. I know before they had parking on the street, and when she was coming, she said there's no longer address that. Okay.
So we welcome John and Jolene Martinez, and just state your name and I guess the address, we know where it is, so we'll do with that.
Jolene Martinez.
John Martinez.
Uh-oh.
To address the parking issue, we intend to change our focus and bring more of the horse presence to the front of the property. We have all of that unused on, so we're going to make that available for parking, and also hopefully in the future if it's financial. So we will have
my neighbor is Ellen Fonda, and he and I are working out a plan. We're going to change the far north side to the south side, such that we're putting drainage for those backyard drainage better, and it will increase the parking area by about 12 feet along that side. One house, the parking there. We also have allowed a parking there, so that that constitution of the trip that is one that we have park premises, so then parking out.
How many parking spots do you think you need?
Maybe you could help us understand what type of, well, is there
Tell us
just
about your
classes? What's the
business.
business? So we know what type of things are happening.
So we do riding horses, so we're about 4 to 6 friends for that, and that's Sunday through Saturday. And monthly we also have events where all of our students come and compete if they do it to grow up. We have several like sessions of lessons a day.
How about 5 lessons? They're not enough.
For our weekend, for
5 different times a day. And you keep all of, these are all your animals, or do people bring their own animals to the facility? So when you, with your plans to expand your parking stuff, you're gonna come and seek a permit from the city to do that as well to make sure.
So it's a ditch right now.
Right.
Deepen that so it can cover the drainage, for the button, and then just cover it with some road base, basically. That requires that.
Does that require a permit to do that?
I wouldn't think so if it's just gravel, right?
Yeah, it's just gravel, but
Or just double
yeah,
check?
right now it's just an open ditch, basically, a shallow open ditch. We're gonna cover it, drainage area. And that kind of thing. So, I think we'll probably get drainage in the backyard.
When you, so after you do that, how many spots do you think you'll have for parking? Like, what will the availability look like? And do you have a timeline on that at all, or? Yeah. Okay. And sorry, so until that time, you feel like you can still accommodate the cars and get them off the street, even before that?
You know, one thing possibly that, and this is not part of the condition, but I would say maybe put a couple signs out along that there front, just say no parking, you know, for people that would, that would, you know, that would say, well, I want to have a quick, easy out, and I don't want to be parked back in and park alone, because I know that is an issue that, you know, just put signages or something out there. Again, I'm not making that part of the condition, but it's a suggestion. Just say, you know, no parking. There's plenty inside, or you know, maybe a sign or something. Park this way with an arrow or something on your event days. So, and that might be, you know, for the first little while. That might take some retraining of them to utilize that. But just I would encourage something along those lines to direct it, because we just don't want interfering with 1,000. It's a narrow road to begin with, and we want to have safety for everybody. And I think that's a big concern. So appreciate what you've said.
We actually have a letter from the spot who says that our lessons and everything have a house or
Good. I think it's a great thing. I mean, we need activities like this for the youth, and I think it's a great thing in my opinion. I rode horses as a kid at my grandpa's farm, but I haven't ridden for a long time. So maybe I might even come down and hop on a horse. You know, that might be kind of fun.
we moved in around my fields. Now we're in a suburb. So these particularly don't have an opportunity to do these kinds of things. And I met so many people that I would do those things. We were very excited about that. So there's nothing that gives confidence like a real joy.
Hopefully not pushing it around.
Leading around.
Leading around.
Don, just make sure you keep the peacocks. That's all I'm saying.
Yes. Didn't that come with when you bought the property? They've always been there.
came there when 6 or 7, now we got 10, and so they're getting smarter about, got food or whatever. They can't, so we're getting more and more.
Council, do you have any other questions?
I just wondered about the street parking. I mean, I don't want to belabor that because I think they're taking care of it, but is there an ordinance that we can't have street parking with the business? I mean, is that part of the ordinance? Because in this situation, they have a lot of frontage and there's a lot of side road that they could park on. I don't know why,
I just
why
think-
would we would restrict that.
I just think, if they have it on the back, in my opinion, they can utilize it, and that just takes away any of the frustration. And
Actually,
Is there no?
big meeting and conference, they park right on that place, right in front of our house.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
We're happy to keep it on the street, but exactly.
That's a really good point. There's times, a lot of times that we park all along the 1000 West. There, so.
it's public safety. Is a thing that we want to watch
It
out
actually
for.
helps you too, because then there's other, just maybe we wouldn't necessarily have issues with it, but other people might, but they're more hidden, so. Yeah. Right.
I just had a couple comments and thoughts, I guess, about it. I think as far as the business goes, they're surrounded by commercial property, right? So commercial on the west side, south side is, well, the field there is probably not commercial, but not far from here is the commercial, and then behind you is all water, right? So I mean, if there is a place to run a business in Pleasant View, that's a home-based type business, that would to me be the best location to ever put it.
Well, especially the type of business too.
Yeah, type of business. I don't see I don't have any concerns about being in that location, and I think they take care of the business well. Mayor, I'd make a motion that Mayor Gibson.
Councilman Gibson.
I don't know what I say. I make a motion that we grant an exemption to a home occupation at 2800 North, 1000 West, with the following exemptions, right?
Are
I
they
think
listed
they-
on the front? Or,
Yeah, they're just,
okay,
They-
there we go.
which is,
The home occupation.
oh, there they are. The home occupation shall be conducted wholly within the primary structure on the premises. And the other exemption, a home occupation shall not generate vehicle traffic not common associated with the zone in which it's located. With those two exemptions.
And
Do I think we
on-street
stated all?
parking.
But
We're not
Can
gonna
we,
exempt the
Okay.
parking.
yeah. I'll second that motion.
We have a first and a second.
Calling for the vote now?
Yeah, call for the vote.
Oh, yes.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
So I
Bill?
hope it's delayed.
No,
Bill, were you in
no,
favor?
I was in favor, and I just wanted to clarify that we did the third exemption for the parking on the street, or was that not included in the motion?
I don't think it's listed. Well, yes, it wasn't listed on Lori's note. There were
But we're
just
not
two.
granting that exemption because they're gonna park
Yes,
off
that's
the
right.
street.
We're not
So we
granting
don't
that
need
exemption.
Got it.
one.
Gotcha.
Copy that. Okay, all good.
So, all in favor? Yes. It'll be 5-0 then. That passes. Thank you. Okay.
I want to come and ride your
With the
horses.
presentation, I wanted to see the presentation.
I want to ride your horses.
So, item number 2, presentation from the Children's Justice Center, presenter Rod Layton.
Thank you, guys.
You don't have to leave. You can stay for the rest of the meeting.
Now that Rob's
These
coming out,
are
they're out.
really exciting.
Nobody ever cheers for me, ever. But this is usually the way it is. There's nobody here when I'm presenting. You're
here, that's all that matters. My name is Rod Layton. I'm the executive director of the Weaver Justice Center. I'll make this really quick. Mayor Call is very, very familiar with this project, and some of you may also be familiar with this. If I could, can I pass this up to you with this?
Yes.
Perfect. Some of the cities don't get them, and some do, so we always show up with extras. In a nutshell, what we're trying to do, and I'm not looking for obviously any motions tonight or anything else. Again, Mayor Call's very familiar with this. We've been to WACOG and presented. We were actually scheduled to present last night, Monday, and we pulled ourselves off the agenda. We didn't quite have all the answers to all the questions yet. But what we're trying to do is build a new CJC in each of these justice center in Ogden City. It services Weaver and Morgan counties. If you're not familiar with the Justice CJC, Children's Justice Center, we facilitate the investigation of child abuse cases. So we work very, very close with the police departments. We are not a nonprofit. We are a government agency. I work for Chris Allred, he's my boss at County Police. All of our employees are County Police. I worked for Ryan Hadley for 150 years as a police officer. So he's very familiar with what I do too.
Where's it located presently?
It's located now at 2408 Van Buren, and it's an old historical house, and we've just simply outgrown it. If you look at the first page of your handout, this page, you'll see where we're at now. In 2008, we investigated 502 cases. This year, we made this graph about midway through December, and we were at 800 cases. So we will hit about 850 cases in 2021. Looks like this is when we got.
Ours is the bottom one.
Yeah, well, you said the bottom one. Okay, some of these have changed a little bit. We've got almost doubled in the last few years in child abuse cases. COVID, what we're seeing with COVID is it didn't really affect us, but it will. Kids report about 18 months to 2 years after the event. Kids love to report to school teachers. Kids haven't had access to school teachers. School teachers are the #1 mandatory reporters. They report more than anybody else. Kids confide in their parents. They won't confide in their parents or their family. They'll always go. So we anticipate that once kids get back to school, once they're not wearing masks, once they start to feel comfortable around their teachers again, we'll see a big increase in 2022 and 2023 on reports.
So 799 cases, is that actual cases or reported cases?
That's actual cases. That's interviews. So that's
Where
it's led to a abuse problem.
Yes. And most of these, I'd say 80% of those, 80 to 85 sexual abuse cases are skyrocketing. They're consistently going on. What we did when we decided to build this center, we started on this 3.5 years ago. But within the last year and a half, we saw that we had a critical need that had to be addressed soon. This hasn't happened. And so I approached the county commissioners and I said, look, I understand that you guys have ARPA money, American Rescue Plan Act money. I want some of that. I said, if we could get some of that ARPA funding, we could move that project up. It was just a perfect opportunity. So commissioner said, that's great, we'll give you $1 million. We want you to go out and present this to every city and town. Huntsville is the only town, so we have one town in Weaver County and Morgan County, and tell them what you're trying to do. If they will give you 1.5 million, then we'll give you $1 million. So we went back to the drawing board. We went and on your paper, if you just go to don't worry about 2019, 2020, but go to 2021. What we did is we just took all the cases that present interview. We put them into our system on how many resources the Pleasant View used at the CJC. And if you look at that, you'll see that 83.9% of our resources. The reason we don't put numbers in there, we don't say Pleasant View brought, 21 cases, is because that's just the interview. The interview is just a tiny part of what we do. We interview, we do full medical examinations on the kids. We then do a mental health assessment on the kids, get all that put together, and then we take that to the prosecutor, assess the parents that they need. So we do a lot of stuff other than the interview. So if we were to say, you guys brought us 20 cases, it's really a little bit deceiving on what we actually do. So we look at that 4%, and we go to the last page out of the graph. We just plug that in, and Pleasant View's share of that 1.5 million is $50,292. And that's how we come up with that number. It was extremely fair. It showed, when we're talking about, we were really looking to go after ARPA funding. Some cities have chosen not to use ARPA funding. They're just going to use it through their general budget. We were hopeful that we could attach the ARPA so it doesn't affect your general budgets, but some decided they didn't want to go that way. If you look at the very bottom line, I like to think some of the mayors have said, well, this is a Weber County problem. This is a Weber County center. So if you go by that, and we pulled up all the cases in Weber County unincorporated, all the contract cities that Weber County does, the sheriff's office does, we plug that in, and how much Weber County actually, it would be their allotment, it was $382,000. So commissioners are being very, I think, very fair, saying, well, you'll go out with the rest of it. So that's where we're at. We're trying to pull all this in. One thing that we have found, and why the reason we didn't go to Lake Dog last night is the center is supported by a nonprofit organization. They actually own this building that we're in now. The suggestion was made by a couple of mayors that they would prefer that we would county it, not the nonprofit. That was kind of a new concept, and so we went back to the drawing board a little on that. We've met with the county attorney, we've met with commissioners again. That is not a for sure thing, but we see some merit in having Weber County Center and the nonprofit support.
Where are you slating to put this? Have you got a piece of property already?
We got a property.
You don't have to say where it is.
Yeah, we do have the property. We've done the soil testing. We've got the zoning. We've got everything ready to go. And then all of a sudden, we thought, well, let's see if we can get this built in 2023, and then not we're going to move forward this year.
Sorry, so, Amy, is that number realistic? Or?
We've already received a portion of our ARPA funds. I know in our budget we had, now I can't remember which Saturday, I think Saturday before, we talked a little bit about use of ARPA funds, so that's something that we have already discussed. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I understand obviously that's something that we talked about, but with the other people who are handling this.
And we definitely can't make any decision obviously tonight, but I'm willing for that. I just think it's horrible. These kids have to deal with that.
If you look at your graph, you're dealing with about, you average about 25 cases a year. When you figure that 25 cases, each child is abused, affects about 150 people. So it's not just that child being abused, it's direct family members, community members, school, church congregations, it just spreads out.
And the child is just, again, I don't want to get political in this, but it hurts me. And Chief, go thump on some of these people. It just aggravates me that little children have to worry about that at all. But
I know this is a crucial part of the police investigations when we use CJC. our detectives and officers go down and what they can provide as crucial evidence and part of our investigation is, I can't even believe I'm going to tell you how much it has helped in the prosecution and helping young kids in the prosecution, the perpetrators. I've been to the facility many a time, and Rod's done amazing work resurrecting it from what it was years ago to what it is now. I'm highly supportive of the
As long as it
facility.
doesn't turn into some bureaucratic nightmare, you can keep it so it's functioning. That's in a lot of the different things. I mean, I've looked at that and it becomes a nightmare, and in the end result, the kids don't get help. So as long as we can keep it that, I appreciate personally. I'm not speaking for the council, but I appreciate that. And in lieu of time, I think I would.
I just have a quick question. So Morgan County is involved in this as well, right? Not just Morgan? And that when you say the 383,000, that was all the Weber County contracted cities in addition. That's just the county portion of it.
That would be, if it's just the unincorporated sections and the contract cities, all the cases, their bill would be $400,000.
So are you getting a total? Weber County is offering $1 million. You're trying to get another 1.5 from the other cities. Is that what you're saying? It would be a 2.5. So all the other cities would have 1.5. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see Morgan County on here. I see Morgan, but I don't know if that's Morgan County or if that's the city.
Does that count for the county or the city?
That's the county.
Okay.
Because they have no, that's all they have is the county. They don't have any
Cities.
cities that have their own police department.
Yeah. Okay.
Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, and the only other question, I don't know the agencies. So Child Protective Services, and how does that relate to you? And I don't even know if that is an agency still.
Great question. And I was just trying to save a little time, so I went fast. But according to state statute requires that children are interviewed at a children's justice center. But that is only Child Protective Services, PCFS. They have to interview at a children's justice center. There's also another law that says that law enforcement is required to cross the court. So DCFS CJC. So if CPS is connected to law enforcement, they both better be at the CJC. So that's when we do an interview. There's a monitoring room, and in that monitoring room, we do the interview. So we have professional forensic interviewers. But law enforcement is in the back room with the Child Protective Services, CFS, do the interview, get that done, then each side takes their role. Law enforcement starts the investigation for criminal charges, CFS starts their role with the patient. They need to do removal, they need to protect the child. So they'll either do removal, move the perpetrator out of the house, or they will pull the child out of the house. So, hate to make it really weak, but 95% of our cases are within the family. So the stranger danger thing, that was never true. Really, it's not. So there's two parts, and that's why the CJC. Steve, is that you? Yeah. I loved your comment because that's what we eliminate. We eliminate the government that when you walk into that center, you're not having 15 agencies trying to tell you to do this, do that. County, you got the courts, you got law enforcement. So we bundle it all together, and we have one person that works with you and you watch.
Good.
That reduces. That is our mission. Reduce that promise for government.
Thank you.
Well, great work. Thank you. Yeah.
I think we can unitedly ask for that to be put together and some numbers to be put together, and we'll work on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Budget timing, right?
Just budget timing, yeah.
Well, and it doesn't necessarily have to happen with the budget. So we've already received some of our ARPA funding.
Oh.
And so we actually, with some of the other funding requests, can begin to move forward within this fiscal year with this request to be fired.
So that can come back before the city council on a.
Would you like, I guess, just with timeline, it sounds like you're still working out, fine tuning some details. What timeline are you looking at receipt of funding?
Thank you for asking that too. So, the county has been very, very, like, laid back on this a little bit. They're like, what we would like cities is, will you do this? Will you pay the money that we've requested? If you will do that, I'm willing to let me move forward with the construction and start going forward.
Just ask the county to match what the cities give.
That's the cities. So if we were to say, we're on board with this, we're gonna.
1.5.
Yeah, that's good, right? We're gonna create your local agreement with you. We're gonna make sure that there are funding is spent exactly in compliance with the law. We'll do all that. So you're not gonna be going, okay, we just gave Weaver County 50,000. Are they really using it under the guidelines? We'll make sure that we do that, and if you up to that, and then when you're willing or able to pay that, the family's like, we'll work with you on that. So some cities are looking at paying it in 2 installments over 2 years. They don't want to pay it all at one shot. So the county's like, fine, but we want you to say yes or no. So what I'm looking for is for the city to tell me as soon as they possibly can, we're on board, if we will do this, that I can move forward and start.
And I'll be honest, I think the best course of action with that is approval of designating the funds from the governing body, because otherwise, that's what really signifies the fact in place, at least from our city standpoint. I think it just really clarifies to you that it's there, the funding's there.
We much prefer that, but when I did Morgan County, it's like, we just write a check tonight. They are terrified for what they take out of. And so some cities are just saying, here's the money to build the center.
I think it's just one follow. I know I don't want to hurry on time here, but are you funded with Weaver County taxes normally ongoing, or is it, how do you?
Some funding from Weaver County, yes, but that's in-kind, a lot of in-kind services, plus you get off some of our wages. So I'm a county employee, and the other 9 members of the staff are receive Weaver County salary. Okay. But so there is some taxpayer money there. There's federal money you get, there's state money you get, private nonprofit side. Yeah, there's a fund that makes it. But Weaver County is very generous in what they pay.
So with this presentation on the agenda, we need to have it from that.
Yeah, so what we'll do for the direction of the council is schedule a public hearing for a budget amendment. Yeah.
Well, we can't do anything.
No, but we can make the request for them.
For consideration, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate your time. Item number 3, Tyson. Discussion of possible action to consider the cost sharing with North Ogden City on the 4300 North emergency water interconnection in the amount of approximately $29,812.62, which is double what we were told before, Tyson. I don't understand that.
Also, this was to formalize what didn't understanding fire safety, we talked about planning, leaking hydrants, trying to get quantity of water up there. Also, this is formalize that connection, give us both our meters, so we can do what our losses or we not meant to invade permanent wholesale water like the Weaver Basin. We have a major fire. This is our single source area. So if you lose the spring and effectively we don't have enough water.
Do we have an agreement then with, there will be a meter on it, but are they, if something drastic happens, is there a minimum, a maximum, or how do we? How do we deal with that?
The way we were discussing this one, those previous scenarios. I think both of those are the best years. That's how I connected to it. A year.
So you just took the hose to one in North Ogden and hooked the hose over to the Pleasant View one before?
So is it a manual valve or is it an automated valve? How do you get access to it quickly? And
It would be a manual, somebody would find out the ball, that's all part of it. What, you find down in both sides, they all normally closed valve. So it should be closed permanently, you can stay in the closed. Those feeders, that would be the nice part about it. They, auto feed.
so we would know.
Yes, the new guy showed up and
And we can set parameters on that so we know it alarms us that water's being flowing through there. Or yeah, okay.
active or has been dead, you get notices for all of that. And then water will see what it is. So they, Jason and the crew now with the issues that we don't go through their hiring. Based on
I think it's a great thing. I mean, it's
Any other quick questions?
No, we already have this allocated in the budget, right? It's half of what we actually, okay.
Bill,
If there's,
any questions?
I'd like
Okay.
to make a motion if we're ready then.
Have a motion?
Yep, I'll make a motion that we, cost share with North Ogden on the 4300 North Emergency Water Interconnection in the amount of $29,812.62.
Motion by Ann and a second by Sarah. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Tyson. I guess Amy, you're gonna cover number 4?
Tyson.
Oh, Tyson. Oh, sorry. Discussion of possible action to award the 2022 street maintenance project bid to Staker Parsons in the amount of $105,963.55. Tyson.
they know Griffin and Storm. We received the 4 bids for the street maintenance project. Out of the 4 bids, Staker Parsons being the low bidder and not having to use the $105,962.55. That came in below our year's estimate for the project. More wiggle room for that realignment project for 1,000. Here with all the price increases of the year that we come up with budget for all of us.
Do you have any concerns about Staker doing the work? I mean, I wouldn't think so, right?
So it's been, each project with them has been great. They work through issues we have, but we don't have, some residents. They've been great to work with. We have no reorg engineering for the whole thing. I think we're closer to June. So in the end, even though both of them have been joining us on that one. different times that you want to follow the level in, and then that just do it follow the year before it's really tracking the traffic.
I'll make a motion that we award the 2022 street maintenance project to State Parsons in the amount of $105,963.55.
First,
I'll second that.
and with the second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Can you just get us a list of the projects we're planning to do on that too? I know you've
Right
talked to
here.
us about it.
It's on the contract.
Thank you so much. Item number 5, public hearing, discussion of possible action to amend the Pleasant View Municipal Zoning Code 18.27, Commercial Zone C1 and C2 to remove verbiage regarding driveways. This will be ordinance number 2022-7. And for little time, should we open up the public hearing?
I'll make a motion that we open a public hearing.
I'll second that.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well, this is going to be very brief. A while back, we had an ordinance amendment that added additional clarification on how the number of allowable commercial driveways and how those can be aligned based on the property. And this is a cleanup item just to remove some other verbiage that is no longer necessary with the new language that was added. I don't know if there's any questions.
Any public would like to comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second that motion.
First and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
Steve, unless there's comment, I would just like to make a motion to approve the amendment to the municipal zoning code 18.7, commercial zones C-1 and C-2, to remove verbiage regarding driveways ordinance 2022-7.
I'll second the motion.
okay, and I think this is a roll call. Correct? Arrington, Councilmember Arrington?
Yes.
Gibson, yes. Marriott?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Yuri?
Yes.
Unanimous? Thank you very much. Item number 6, public hearing, discussion and possible action to amend the Pleasant View multiple subdivision code 1.7.18 to modify cul-de-sac length requirements. This will be ordinance 2022-8. I'll take a motion to
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we go into a public hearing.
Second.
first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I do all of it. Okay. Amy.
Okay, happy to present on this. So this is an item that has come forward as a staff-initiated proposal in working with various different types of groups. So we discovered that our cul-de-sac length doesn't accommodate several different things. We've had more rural areas where there's been a desire to have this, areas with challenging topography, and then areas where lot lines are really not very clean or straight. And so in looking at this, we did ask other communities what their standards were, and on average, 650 is kind of where that landed. In talking with Planning Commission, we actually had a proposal in there to have an allowance for a higher use with challenging topography, so 750 feet. They actually recommended removal of that because they thought that it was a little bit arbitrary and thought it would be better and cleaner to have one single standard and to go with the average. And so before you is a recommendation from the Planning Commission to adjust our cul-de-sac length to 650 feet. We do have support of our city engineer and also our public works director in the modification of this, and our fire marshal as well. Sorry, I just did that. So any questions on that?
What does that mean? 650 feet from, that's the length of
The allowable length of a
allowable length.
cul-de-sac.
So from the intersection of the road, the stop sign, or intersection, the
the
farthest
end of the
point, the
cul-de-sac.
farthest point of the cul-de-sac.
Correct.
You just can't have these long driveways that go for miles and congestion.
Well, in part, yeah. I mean, if it's so long, then you don't, if there's a fire or some other incident, you don't have a safe exit point. But with this modification, there wasn't a complete exit.
So we have like streets that are almost a half a mile road that are dead end, right? So what you're saying is that could no longer happen anymore.
Well, we do allow temporary turnaround, so that's something that's not a permanent thing. And the other thing is the connectivity into streets. And so
So this wouldn't apply to a temporary turnaround then, right?
No,
We'd say
that's a
in the future there
separate-
would be a secondary road that
this
would
is
allow
for a
it.
permanent cul-de-sac.
Those temporary turnarounds have to be big enough to turn a big fire truck around.
Well, and also
Right,
the
but there's no-
infrastructure, the connectivity, like you mentioned,
There's some
sewer,
plan in
water, like that.
Yeah, allows a future plan, but it's not a
Yeah.
permanent. Okay.
In some subdivisions, they
Trying to maximize the
for future stuff.
Yeah, the 500 feet, I mean, I've been here just over a year, and it's come up at least half a dozen times as an issue. So,
that it's too short.
yeah.
So consistent.
Any other questions? Woman, entertain a motion?
I need to close the public hearing.
Oh,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'll make a
Thank-
motion that we,
Oh, excuse me, apologize. Thank you. Anybody that would, from the public that would like to comment on this?
I figured that's why you're there.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry. I'm new. I have support from everybody. State your name and your address, please. Oh. That's very interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Great, man. Thank you very much. And I apologize that I almost forgot you. I'm sorry. I won't. Thank you for coming and thank you for listening.
I'd like to make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Looks like that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this also is a ordinance.
We just closed the public hearing.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh.
So,
No one was opposed to closing without.
No, no, okay,
I
so
know.
we closed the public hearing.
do you need a
I
motion
did
now?
need a motion to approve this ordinance.
I'll make that motion that we approve the ordinance 2022-8 that amends our municipal subdivision code 17.18 to modify the cul-de-sac.
Do we need to list the length, or is that in the new verbiage?
It's in the ordinance, yeah. So I included it as recommended by the planning commission.
I'll second the motion.
We have a first by Ann and a second by Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye in favor by, aye in favor. No opposed, but passes. Well, excuse me, the roll call. Oh my gosh, I was gonna do so good.
You're doing
Oh,
awesome.
my gosh.
Steve, it's hard.
The ordinance 2022-8. I love sitting over there and just being quiet sometimes. Harrington,
Yes.
Gibson, yes. Marriott, yes. Nelson,
Yes.
Erie,
Yeah.
passes 5-0. Thank you so much. Item number 7. Discussion of possible action to amend the Pleasant View zoning code 18.43.250C to modify the length of curb cuts for a driveway adjacent to Highway 89 and/or 2700 North. This is ordinance number 2022-9, and we'll get through this one without any mistakes.
Mayor Pro Tem, I make a motion to move into a public hearing.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion, and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No opposed?
Oh, yes, sorry. So before you this evening is this modification to the curb cut distances from the UDOT roadways. And so kind of similar, we have some development that have been coming in, and we have challenges because we are only allowed so many entrances off of UDOT Road. And so, as part of those developments coming in, one of the questions we asked UDOT was, what is the appropriate proximity from your roads to allow curb cuts? And their recommended amount is the distance of 150 feet. And so, yes, 150 feet. The current is 200 feet, and so it's a modification of 50 feet. And so the proposed ordinance is an amendment to reflect that recommendation to allow, again, more flexibility. We didn't want to go in with any, preconceived number, but just really to ask them what is the optimal and how can we best work with these individuals that aren't able to get access off of the roadways.
Oh, our current is 200 feet.
Yes, currently,
UDOT saying they
The
recommend a minimum of 150
yes, correct,
from a road, from an intersection.
correct, off of.
Do we have any,
Is that all changing to just the distance?
It's just the
Not
distance
not the
allowable
width of
for the curb
cut
cut.
or
No,
anything
it
like
doesn't
that?
modify any of our
You
standards.
said it closer.
Just allowing it to be closer to the road.
do you have any comments from the public on item number 7?
Make a motion that we close the public hearing.
I'll second the motion.
Dave, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Bill? Aye. I missed
Aye.
your thumb, sorry. Okay. Any other comments?
I'd like to make a motion to amend the Pleasant View zoning code 18.43.250C to modify the length of curb cuts for a driveway adjacent to Highway 89 and or 2700 North, ordinance 2022-9.
I'll second the motion.
First and a second by Sarah and Dave. This is also as a roll call. Harrington,
Yes.
Gibson, yes. Marriott,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Erie,
Yes.
passes 5-0. Okay. Anything for a closed meeting?
Nothing this evening.
Okay. I'd like 3 minutes or 4 minutes to possibly do the reports. I don't know, did we need reports tonight? Amy, Larry,
Oh,
Mike? I got mine in already.
I haven't done it yet. We have our Founders Day meeting on Tuesday.
I was gonna bring up on Tuesday. Founders Day meeting on Tuesday. And, we just need a car show rep.
We're gonna. Do you have somebody? Have you been talking to Cindy? She's all excited.
We have a meeting. I can't remember what day it is though. Do you know? I think it's Monday. Before, we're just talking about parades.
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's good.
Perfect, and I apologize, I will not be here for the next report. I won't be here for the next council meeting. I'm overwhelmed with myself with this. It'll take me a couple weeks to get over it.
Yeah. Done a phenomenal job.
Well, no, thank you for your support.
Hey, awesome.
You guys are family, and I appreciate.
You're great.
Well, thank you. So stupid. Yeah.
I'll be back.
Tyson, anything? We're ready. Looks like we're gonna have some snow, so ready for the. Everything should be good for the snow plows, I hope. Hopefully they. Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather have it, I think, at the end of the year versus the first, especially if we have a nice wet spring, then it should be good.
Yeah, and you want a lot of that.
Well, I gotta have the greenest lawn on this other
Mhm.
road.
I'm glad they're pushing it back.
Yeah,
We were considered 15 kilometers.
they did reduce even the whole area. We get showing you how we do that level of regard, that and actually we do like 40% whole area with them.
I thought we were basing this on that. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, basically, I go to the webinars and just in the state, talking about the reservoirs and
Well, we're saying all saying prayers. I believe in prayer, and so I'm gonna put all my, I'm gonna bring my slickers and whatever I gotta have, 'cause we're gonna have a lot of rain this summer, or this spring. Tyson, anything else? Isn't ABC, CD, multiple guess?
And then down, it's C.
All right, good.
And Tyson, did we let the council know that Mike is our new water superintendent? I don't know. Okay. Okay, good.
I've heard that, I think.
I assume. I love it.
If he passes his test.
Like,
Well, if you could pass it, then I guess really.
Oh, wow.
Really, so that's kind of a given, right? That's only said with love, Tyson, for heaven's sakes, you know that. Hey, bring
He's
it
not
on.
plowing your road tonight, that's it.
Well, my road never gets plowed anyway. Okay. Chief, anything from you?
Oh, yes,
You wake up.
I saw engrossed in that.
Yeah. My tires will be slit. Can I want to
No.
put in a complaint.
we're gonna make these for some help.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Wipe off the windshield too. Chief, you have 3 minutes ago.
Right, I can do it in one. We're working on equipment grants. We were just awarded one this last week for $2,000 for police equipment from a foundation. And they came, took a little photo op with Amy and I and some of the office staff. And, it's really nice to apply and get that. Another one I've got ready to submit is, well, I've applied for up to $10,000, but we'll see where it goes, for equipment grant from the state of Utah. Once I have a little more information, I'll submit the grant. We'll see where that goes. Also, we're getting a few thefts. As soon as the weather keeps staying good, we get thefts at our construction sites and vehicle burglaries. Had 2 cars stolen in the last month, both recovered in Pleasant View. Why people continue to leave the keys in them, I don't know. Both stolen, both recovered in Pleasant View. And next council meeting, I'm sure it'll be on the agenda, but we're going to have our school resource officer come in and do a little presentation on what's going on at Weber High and some of the things he's encountered and some of the paraphernalia he's collected, and explain that a little bit to us. I think that'll be really interesting. Yeah, so anybody that would like to come to that would be interesting. Maybe the youth city council, we'll see. And for February, we handled 790 calls, had 96 citations issued, and 14 arrests. So we're staying busy. Other than that, we got it under control. That's all.
Did I let everyone know we hired a planner?
No,
Oh, yes.
I haven't heard that.
Wait,
Sorry.
you do have something.
We do have something. I'm so sorry. Yes, she's starting next Monday. Her name is Amber Corbett. She's worked as a planner for Ogden Amber for 4 years. So, cool. Yeah, she's really great. A little bit. I met her. I met her. Yeah, we had
Got a first and a second, there you go. Well, we're excited.
yeah. We had me, the mayor, Tyson, Dana, and then Debbie, just to pull somebody in from the office staff that worked with her. So, and then Laurie met with her too, and Mitchell. Yeah, no. Next Monday.
Bring it to council.
Yeah, she seems really great, very energetic. Hit the ground running. We're excited.
I'll make a motion that we close this council meeting.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Philip, thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Where are you?
I'm California for meetings just for today. I fly back tomorrow.
Well, you're missing some good weather here.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Oh,